Charles Wilhelm has become known as one of the country's top trainers for both horses and people. His approach to training focuses on educating the horse owner alongside their equine partners so they can form a strong bond and achieve an amazing partnership.
Now, one of the things I wanted to cover is some spurs. I mean, there's lengths of spurs, there's different kinds of spurs, there's different kinds of rowels. Some of them are really aggressive, okay? And sometimes you need aggressive spur. We don't want to be aggressive with a horse all the time. But when a horse comes in for training and is dull and is bucking because it's learned not to move forward and it's learned a habit because like I said in one of the other segments, you know, their owner's up there with their little legs and they're just flapping their wings on the horse, the legs, and it's not moving and they quit. Then what happens, because horses learn by the release of pressure, it thinks that's what it's supposed to be doing, or in this case, not going forward. But spurs come in because for a lot of different reasons. We can use them for a backup. Listen, I wear spurs all the time. I go to dinner and I go to lunch. I go home to the barn, I always have spurs on. Doesn't mean you got to use them. I use a dressage stick to follow up so I don't have to use my spurs all the time. They're a very effective tool. I've learned that from the dressage training I've had in the past. But the important thing is to understand these spurs. Okay. Now, we've seen the dressage stick. I'm just going to throw this off to the side so we don't. Now, this rowel here is pretty much what I have on right now. Okay. And if we can get a close-up shot of that, it's rounded. It's got 12 points to it, and it's rounded. It's pretty non-aggressive. In fact, when you roll up on it, in fact, if I took my hand like that, I mean, there's no pain at all. Actually, there's more effect if I rowel up, okay? Now, what's significant on this, and I could be wearing it on this for this horse, but on smaller horses and people with longer legs, this is a 2.5-inch neck, okay? Now, if you have long legs and you're on a short horse, your legs are going to be down below its belly. Now, here's two remedies, and you may use both anyway. A lot of these cute little quarter horses in reining and cutting, you know, they're just barely 14 hands, maybe 14-1, and then there's this big guy. So what we've learned to do is ride with a shorter stirrup, okay, so we can be more on the barrel of the horse. Otherwise, the barrel's right here and our legs are down here, and we're not even getting close to the barrel of the horse. But most of the time we can just get a longer neck. Okay, the one I had on there is 1.5 inches. This is 2.5 inch. You can get 3 inches. Okay, that just allows you better and easier access for clear communication. Now, this here is a nice spur. It's good for the ladies, people who, you know, kind of intimidated by the spur, and it's also good for babies when you're starting babies. If the camera looks at it, it's just like a big old 4-leaf, you know, 12-point, you know. I mean, it's not aggressive at all, you know, but it's got a little bit more bite to it than the, you know, your heel of your boot. And this is a nice transition. Also, if you notice here where the neck curves up, this is actually a guard for your chaps if you had them. Keeps your chaps off the wheel of it. So that's just good information. So this is a nice little spur. Now, that can work effectively, but here again, these spurs help you to train your horse. If your horse at any time doesn't move off your spur, then it's your responsibility to follow through and get it done. Now, here's some English spurs. Now, I get a lot of English horses in, and here's these pointed little things, and they can be pretty nagging, okay? Because there's no bite there, and they overuse them. And it's learning Again, it doesn't matter what kind of spur, it's learning, as I showed you previously, how to position your leg and foot without using the spur while you have spurs on.
We hope you've enjoyed watching Charles Wilhelm's Ultimate Foundation Horsemanship. Remember, to find out more about Charles and to see how you can get the most out of your relationship with your horse, visit Charles online at charleswilhelm.com.